hamburger is a sandwich consisting of one or more cooked patties of ground meat usually placed inside a sliced hamburger bun. Hamburgers are often served with lettuce, bacon, tomato, onion, pickles, cheese and condiments such as mustard, mayonnaise, ketchup and relish. The term burger can also be applied to the meat patty on its own, especially in the UK where the term patty is rarely used. The term may be prefixed with the type of meat as in turkey burger. Etymology. The term hamburger originally derives from Hamburg, Germany's second-largest city, from which many people emigrated to the United States. In High German, Burg means fortified settlement or fortified refuge and is a widespread component of place names. Hamburger, in the German language, is the demonym of Hamburg. Similar to Frankfurter and Wiener, names for other meat-based foods, being demonyms of the cities of Frankfurt and Vienna, respectively. The term burger, a back formation, is associated with many different types of sandwiches similar to a hamburger, using different meats, such as a buffalo burger, venison, kangaroo, turkey, elk, lamb, salmon burger or veggie burger. History. The hamburger, a ground meat patty between two slices of bread, was first created in America in 1900 by Louis Lassen, a Danish immigrant, owner of Louis Lunch in New Haven, Connecticut. There have been rival claims by Charlena Green, Frank and Charles Menches, Oscar Weber Bilby, and Fletcher David. White Castle traces the origin of the hamburger to Hamburg, Germany with its invention by Otto Cuase. However, it gained national recognition at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair when the New York Tribune namelessly attributed the hamburger as the innovation of a food vendor on the pike. No conclusive claim has ever been made to end the dispute over the inventor of the hamburger, with a variety of claims and evidence asserted since its creation. An article from ABC News sums up the problems of identifying the origins of the hamburger by stating, "One problem is that there is little written history. Another issue is that the spread of the burger happened largely at the World's Fair, from tiny vendors that came and went in an instant. And it is entirely possible that more than one person came up with the idea at the same time in different parts of the country." Claims of invention. Louis Lassen. The Library of Congress has officially declared that Louis Lassen of Louis Lunch, a small lunch wagon in New Haven, Connecticut, sold the first hamburger and steak sandwich in the U.S. in 1900. New York Magazine states that, the dish actually had no name until some rowdy sailors from Hamburg named the meat on a bun after themselves years later, noting also that this claim is subject to dispute. A customer ordered a quick hot meal and Louis was out of steaks. Taking ground beef trimmings, Louis made a patty and grilled it, putting it between two slices of toast. Though some critics like Josh Ozersky, a food editor for New York Magazine, claimed that this sandwich was not a hamburger because the bread was toasted. Charlena Green. One of the earliest claims comes from Charlena Green, who in 1885 sold a meatball between two slices of bread at the Seymour Fair, now called the Outgamy County Fair in some attributions. The Seymour Community Historical Society of Seymour, Wisconsin, credits Green, now known as Hamburger Charlie, with the invention of the hamburger. Green was 15 when he reportedly made sandwiches out of pork that he was selling at the 1885 Seymour Fair, so that customers could eat while walking. The Historical Society explains that Green named the hamburger after the Hamburg steak with which local German immigrants were familiar. Otto Cuase. According to White Castle, Otto Cuase was the inventor of the hamburger. In 1891 he created a beef patty cooked in butter, topped with a fried egg. German sailors would later omit the fried egg. Oscar Weber Bilby. Another claim attributes the invention of the hamburger to Oscar Weber Bilby in 1891. The family of Oscar Weber Bilby claim the first known hamburger on a bun was served on Grandpa Oscar's farm using a yeast bun on the 4th of July. In 1995, Governor Frank Keating proclaimed that the first true hamburger on a bun was created and consumed in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1891. Calling Tulsa, the real birthplace of the hamburger. Frank and Charles Menches. Another claim from 1885 comes from Frank and Charles Menches, who claim to have sold a ground beef sandwich at the Erie County Fair in Hamburg, New York. During the fair, They ran out of pork sausage for their sandwiches and substituted beef. Kunzog, who spoke to Frank Menches, says they exhausted their supply of sausage, so purchased chopped-up beef from a butcher, Andrew Klein. Though historian Joseph Streamer wrote that the meat was from Stein's market, not Klein's. Despite Stein having sold the market in 1874. The story notes that the origin of the hamburger comes from Hamburg, New York, not Hamburg, Germany. Yet Frank Menches's obituary in the New York Times states that these events took place at the 1892 Summit County Fair in Akron, Ohio. Fletcher Davis of Athens, Texas, claimed to have invented the hamburger. According to oral histories, in the 1880s, he opened a lunch counter in Athens and served a burger of fried ground beef patties with mustard and Bermuda onion between two slices of bread, with a pickle on the side. The claim is that in 1904, Davis and his wife Ciddy ran a sandwich stand at the St. Louis World's Fair. Historian Frank X. Tolbert noted that Athens resident Clint Murchison said his grandfather dated the hamburger to the 1880s with Old Dave a.k.a. Fletcher Davis. A photo of Old Dave's hamburger stand from the 1904 connection was sent to Tolbert as evidence of the claim. Also, the New York Tribune namelessly attributed the innovation of the hamburger to the stand on the pike. Other hamburger steak claims. Various non-specific claims of the hamburger's invention relates to the term hamburger steak, but no mention of it being a sandwich. The first printed American menu which listed hamburger was claimed to be an 1826 menu from Delmonico's in New York. However, the printer of the original menu was not in business in 1834. In 1889, a menu from Walla Walla Union in Washington offered hamburger steak as a menu item. Between 1871 and 1884, Hamburg beefsteak was on the breakfast and supper menu of the Clipper restaurant at 311/313 Pacific Street in San Fernando, California. It cost 10 cents the same price as mutton chops, pig's feet in batter, and stewed veal. It was not, however, on the dinner menu. Only pig's head, calf tongue, and stewed kidneys were listed. Another claim ties the hamburger to Summit County, New York or Ohio. Summit County, Ohio exists, but Summit County, New York does not. Early major vendors. 1921, White Castle, Wichita, Kansas. Due to widely prevalent anti-German sentiment in the U.S. during World War I, an alternative name for hamburgers was Salisbury steak. Following the war, hamburgers became unpopular until the White Castle restaurant chain marketed and sold large numbers of small 2.5-inch square hamburgers, known as sliders. They started to punch 5 holes in each patty, which helped them cook evenly and eliminates the need to flip the burger. White Castle began in 1995 selling frozen hamburgers in convenience stores and vending machines. 1940, McDonald's restaurant, San Bernardino, California, opened by Richard and Morris McDonald. Their introduction of the speedy service system in 1948 established the principles of the modern fast food restaurant. The McDonald brothers began franchising in 1953. In 1961, Ray Kroc purchased the company from the brothers for $2.7 million and a 1.9% royalty. Hamburgers today. Hamburgers are usually a feature of fast food restaurants. The hamburgers served in major fast food establishments are usually mass-produced in factories and frozen for delivery to the site. These hamburgers are thin and of uniform thickness, differing from the traditional American hamburger prepared in homes and conventional restaurants, which is thicker and prepared by hand from ground beef. Generally, most American hamburgers are round, but some fast food chains, such as Wendy's, sell square-cut hamburgers. Hamburgers in fast food restaurants are usually grilled on a flat top, but some firms, such as Burger King, use a gas flame grilling process. At conventional American restaurants, hamburgers may be ordered rare, but normally are served medium well or well done for food safety reasons. Fast food restaurants do not usually offer this option. The McDonald's fast food chain sells the Big Mac, one of the world's top-selling hamburgers, with an estimated 550 million sold annually in the United States. Other major fast food chains, including Burger King, A&W, Culver's, Whataburger, Carl's Jr./Hardee's chain, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, Cookout, Harvey's, Shake Shack, In-N-Out Burger, Five Guys, Fatburger, Ferrer's, Burgerville, Backyard Burgers, Lick's Hamburger, Roy Rogers, Smashburger, and Sonic also rely heavily on hamburger sales. Fuddruckers and Red Robin are hamburger chains that specialize in the mid-tier restaurant-style variety of hamburgers. Some North American establishments offer a unique take on the hamburger beyond what is offered in fast food restaurants, using upscale ingredients such as sirloin or other steak along with a variety of different cheeses, toppings, and sauces. Some examples would be the Bobby's Burger Palace chain founded by well-known chef and Food Network star Bobby Flay. Hamburgers are often served as a fast dinner, picnic or party food, and are usually cooked outdoors on barbecue grills. Raw hamburger may contain harmful bacteria that can produce food-borne illness such as Escherichia coli O157, H7, due to the occasional initial improper preparation of the meat, so caution is needed during handling and cooking. Because of the potential for food-borne illness, the USDA recommends hamburgers be cooked to an internal temperature of 170 °C. If cooked to this temperature, they are considered well done. A high-quality hamburger patty is made entirely of ground beef and seasonings. This may be described as an all-beef hamburger, or all-beef patties to distinguish them from inexpensive hamburgers made with added flour, textured vegetable protein, ammonia-treated defatted beef trimmings which the company Beef Products Incorporated calls lean finely textured beef, advanced meat recovery or other fillers to decrease their cost. In the 1930s ground liver was sometimes added to the patties. Some cooks prepare their patties with binders, such as eggs or breadcrumbs. Seasonings may be included with the hamburger patty including salt and pepper, and others such as parsley, onions, soy sauce, Thousand Island dressing, onion soup mix, or Worcestershire sauce. Many name brand seasoned salt products are also used. Variations. Burgers can also be made with patties made from ingredients other than beef. For example, a turkey burger uses ground turkey meat, a chicken burger uses ground chicken meat. A buffalo burger uses ground meat from a bison, and an ostrich burger is made from ground seasoned ostrich meat. A deer burger uses ground venison from deer. A veggie burger, garden burger, or tofu burger uses a meat analog, a meat substitute such as tofu, TVP, seitan, corn, beans, grains or an assortment of vegetables, ground up and mashed into patties. United States and Canada. In the United States and Canada, burgers may be classified as two main types, fast food hamburgers and individually prepared burgers made in homes and restaurants. The latter are often prepared with a variety of toppings, including lettuce, tomato, onion, and often sliced pickles. French fries often accompany the burger. Cheese either melted on the meat patty or crumbled on top, is generally an option. Condiments might be added to a hamburger or may be offered separately on the side including mustard, mayonnaise, ketchup, salad dressings and barbecue sauce. Other toppings include bacon, avocado or guacamole, sliced sota copyrighted mushrooms, cheese sauce and or chili, fried egg, scrambled egg, feta cheese, blue cheese, salsa, pineapple, jalapenos and other kinds of chili peppers, anchovies, slices of ham or bologna, pastrami or teriyaki seasoned beef, tartar sauce, French fries, onion rings or potato chips. Standard toppings on hamburgers may depend upon location, particularly at restaurants that are not national or regional franchises. A Texas burger uses mustard as the only sauce, and comes with or without vegetables, jalapeno slices, and cheese. In the upper Midwest, particularly Wisconsin, burgers are often made with a buttered bun, butter as one of the ingredients of the patty or with a pat of butter on top of the burger patty. This is called a butter burger. In the Carolinas, a hamburger with everything may be served with cheese, chili, onions, mustard, and coleslaw. National chain Wendy's sells a Carolina Classic burger with these toppings in these areas. In Hawaii, hamburgers are often topped with teriyaki sauce, derived from the Japanese-American culture, and locally grown pineapple. Waffle House claims on its menus and website to offer 70,778,880 different ways of serving a hamburger. In portions of the Midwest and East Coast, a hamburger served with lettuce, tomato, and onion is called a California burger. This usage is sufficiently widespread to appear on the menus of Dairy Queen. In the western U.S., a California burger often means a cheeseburger, with guacamole and bacon added. Pastrami burgers may be served in Salt Lake City, Utah. A hamburger with 2 patties is called a double-decker, or simply a double. A hamburger with 3 patties is called a triple. Doubles and triples are often combined with cheese and sometimes with bacon, yielding a double cheeseburger, or a triple bacon cheeseburger, or alternatively, a bacon double or triple cheeseburger. A hamburger smothered in red or green chili is called a slopper. A patty melt consists of a patty, sota copyright ed onions and cheese between 2 slices of rye bread. The sandwich is then buttered and fried. A slider is a very small square hamburger patty sprinkled with diced onions and served on an equally small bun. According to the earliest citations, the name originated aboard U.S. Navy ships, due to the way greasy burgers slid across the galley grill while the ship pitched and rolled. Other versions claim the term slider originated from the hamburgers served by flight line galleys at military airfields, which were so greasy they slid right through you. Or because their small size allows them to slide right down your throat in 1 or 2 bites. The term Steek Burger is commonly used to describe a hamburger made with patties from meat considered to be of higher quality, such as ground steak or other lean ground beef. It is known mostly for the burgers named as Steek Burgers on the menu of restaurants such as Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steek Burgers and Steak and Shake. In Alberta, Canada, a kibbe burger is a hamburger made with a pressed Ukrainian sausage. In Minnesota, a Juicy Lucy, or Juicy Lucy, is a hamburger having cheese inside the meat patty rather than on top. A piece of cheese is surrounded by raw meat and cooked until it melts, resulting in a molten core of cheese within the patty. This scalding hot cheese tends to gush out at the first bite, so servers frequently warn patrons to let the sandwich cool for a few minutes before consumption. A low-carb burger is a hamburger where the bun is omitted and large pieces of lettuce are used in its place, with mayonnaise and or mustard being the sauces primarily used. A Ramen Burger, invented by Kizo Shimamoto, is a hamburger patty sandwich between 2 discs of compressed ramen noodles in lieu of a traditional bun. Mexico. In Mexico, burgers are served with ham and slices of American cheese fried on top of the meat patty. The toppings include avocado, jalapeno plus or minus o slices, shredded lettuce, onion and tomato. The bun has mayonnaise, ketchup and mustard. In certain parts are served with bacon, which can be fried or grilled along with the meat patty. A slice of pineapple is also a usual option, and the variation is known as a Hawaiian hamburger. Some restaurants' burgers also have barbecue sauce, and others also replace the ground patty with sirloin, al pastor meat, barbacoa or a fried chicken breast. Many burger chains from the United States can be found all over Mexico, including Carl's Jr., Sonic, as well as global chains such as McDonald's and Burger King. United Kingdom and Ireland. Hamburgers in the UK and Ireland are very similar to their US cousins, and the high street is dominated by the same big 2 chains as in the USA, McDonald's and Burger King. The menus offered to both countries are virtually identical, although portion sizes tend to be smaller in the UK. In Ireland, the food outlet Supermac's is widespread throughout the country, serving burgers as part of its menu. In Ireland, a Breakbabra and Eddie Rockets are also major chains. An original and indigenous rival to the big 2 US giants was the quintessentially British fast food chain Wimpy, originally known as Wimpy Bar, which served its hamburgers on a plate with British-style chips, accompanied by cutlery and delivered to the customer's table. In the late 1970s, to compete with McDonald's, Wimpy began to open American-style counter-service restaurants, and the brand disappeared from many UK high streets when those restaurants were rebranded as Burger Kings between 1989 and €90 by the then owner of both brands, Grand Metropolitan. A management buyout in 1990 split the brands again, and now Wimpy table service restaurants can still be found in many town centres, whilst new counter-service Wimpys are now often found at motorway service stations. Hamburgers are also available from mobile kiosks, particularly at outdoor events such as football matches. Burgers from this type of outlet are usually served without any form of salad, only fried onions and a choice of tomato ketchup, mustard or brown sauce. Chip shops, particularly in the West Midlands, North East, Scotland and Ireland, serve battered hamburgers called batter burgers. This is where the burger patty, by itself, is deep fat fried in batter and is usually served with chips. Hamburgers and veggie burgers served with chips and salad are standard pub grub menu items. Many pubs specialize in gourmet burgers. These are usually high-quality minced steak patties, topped with items such as blue cheese, brie, avocado etc. Some British pubs serve burger patties made from more exotic meats, including venison burgers, bison burgers, ostrich burgers, and in some Australian-themed pubs even kangaroo burgers can be purchased. These burgers are served in a similar way to the traditional hamburger but are sometimes served with a different sauce, including red currant sauce, mint sauce and plum sauce. In the early 21st century, premium hamburger chain and independent restaurants have arisen, selling burgers produced from meat stated to be of high quality and often organic, usually served to eat on the premises rather than to take away. Chains include Gourmet Burger Kitchen, Ultimate Burger, Hamburger Union and Byron Hamburgers in London. Independent restaurants such as Meat Market and Dirty Burger developed a style of rich, juicy burger in 2012 which is known as a dirty burger or third-wave burger. In recent years, Russeller's has sold pre-cooked hamburgers reheatable in a microwave oven in the United Kingdom. In the UK, as in North America and Japan, the term burger can refer simply to the patty, be it beef, some other kind of meat, or vegetarian. Australia and New Zealand. Fast food franchises sell American-style fast food hamburgers in Australia and New Zealand. The traditional Australasian hamburgers are usually bought from fish and chip shops or milk bars. The hamburger meat is almost always ground beef, or mince as it is more commonly referred to in Australia and New Zealand. They commonly include tomato, lettuce, grilled onion and meat as minimum, and can optionally include cheese, beetroot, pineapple, a fried egg and bacon. If all these optional ingredients are included, it is known in Australia as the lot. The only variance between the two countries' hamburgers is that New Zealand's equivalent to the lot often contains a steak as well. The condiments regularly used are barbecue sauce and tomato sauce. The McDonald's Mcos Burger is partway between American and Australian-style burgers, having beetroot and tomato in an otherwise typical American burger, however it is no longer a part of the menu. Likewise, McDonald's in New Zealand created a Kiwi burger, similar to a quarter pounder, but features salad, beetroot and a fried egg. The Hungry Jack's Aussie Burger has tomato, lettuce, onion, cheese, bacon, beetroot, egg, ketchup and a meat patty. China. In China, restaurants such as McDonald's and KFC have been proliferating all across the country. In many parts of China, small hamburger chains have opened up. In supermarkets and corner stores, customers can buy unrefrigerated hamburgers off the bread shelf. These are ultra-sweet buns cut open with a thin slice of pork or ham placed inside without any condiments or vegetables. These hanbao are a half-westernized form of the traditional Cantonese buns called char siu bao. The Chinese word for hamburger often refers to all sandwiches containing hamburger buns and cooked meat, regardless of the meat's origin, including chicken burgers. Japan. In Japan, hamburgers can be served in a bun, called hamburger, or just the patties served without a bun, known as hamburger or Hamburg, short for Hamburg steak. Hamburg steaks are similar to what are known as Salisbury steaks in the USA. They are made from minced beef, pork or a blend of the two, mixed with minced onions, egg, breadcrumbs and spices. They are served with brown sauce with vegetable or salad sides, or occasionally in Japanese curries. It is maybe served in casual, Western-style suburban restaurant chains known in Japan as family restaurants. Hamburgers in buns. on the other hand, are predominantly the domain of fast food chains such as American chains known as McDonald's and Wendy's. Japan has homegrown hamburger chain restaurants such as Mcos Burger, First Kitchen and Freshness Burger. Local varieties of burgers served in Japan include teriyaki burgers, katsu burgers and burgers containing shrimp karaage. Some of the more unusual examples include the rice burger, where the bun is made of rice, and the luxury 1,000 yen Takumi Burger, featuring avocados, freshly grated wasabi, and other rare seasonal ingredients. In terms of the actual patty, there are burgers made with Kobe beef, butchered from cows that are fed with beer and massaged daily. McDonald's Japan also recently launched a Mcpork Burger, made with U.S. pork. McDonald's has been gradually losing market share in Japan to these local hamburger chains, due in part to the preference of Japanese diners for fresh ingredients and more refined, upscale hamburger offerings. Burger King once retreated from Japan, but re-entered the markets in summer 2007 in cooperation with the Korean-owned Japanese fast food chain Lotteria. Other countries. Rice burgers, mentioned above, are also available in several East Asian countries such as Taiwan and South Korea. Lotteria is a big hamburger franchise in Japan owned by the South Korean Lotte Group, with outlets also in China, South Korea, Vietnam, and Taiwan. In addition to selling beef hamburgers, they also have hamburgers made from squid, pork, tofu, and shrimp. Variations available in South Korea include bulgogi burgers and kimchi burgers. In the Philippines, a wide range of major U.S. fast food franchises are well represented, together with local imitators, often amended to the local palate. The chain McDonald's have a range of burger and chicken dishes often accompanied by plain steamed rice and/or French fries. The Philippines boasts its own burger chain called Jollibee, which offers burger meals and chicken, including a signature burger called Champ. Jollibee now has a number of outlets in the United States, the Middle East and East Asia. In India, burgers are usually made from chicken or vegetable patties due to cultural beliefs against eating beef and pork. Because of this, the majority of fast food chains and restaurants in India do not serve beef. McDonald's in India, for instance, do not serve beef, offering the Maharaja Mac instead of the Big Mac, substituting the beef patties with chicken. Another version of the Indian vegetarian burger is the Vada Pav, consisting deep-fried potato patty dipped in gram flour batter. It is usually served with mint chutney and fried green chili. In Pakistan, apart from American fast food chains, burgers can be found in stalls near shopping areas, the best known being the Xiaomi Burger. This is made from Xiaomi kebab, made by mixing lentil and minced lamb. Onions, scrambled egg and ketchup are the most maybe toppings. In Malaysia there are 300 McDonald's restaurants. The menu in Malaysia also includes eggs and fried chicken on top of the regular burgers. Burgers are also easily found at nearby mobile kiosks, especially Ramly Burger. In Mongolia, a recent fast food craze due to the sudden influx of foreign influence has led to the prominence of the hamburger. Specialized fast food restaurants serving to Mongolian tastes have sprung up and seen great success. In Turkey, in addition to the internationally familiar offerings, numerous localized variants of the hamburger may be found, such as the Islak burger, which are beef slider doused in seasoned tomato sauce and steamed inside a special glass chamber, and has its origins in the Turkish fast food retailer Kızılkaya. Other variations include lamb burgers and offal burgers, which are offered by local fast food businesses and global chains alike, such as McDonald's and Burger King. Most burger shops have also adopted a pizzeria-like approach when it comes to home delivery, and almost all major fast food chains deliver. Unusual hamburgers. In May 2012, Serendipity 3 was recognized as the Guinness World Record holder for serving the world a Euro unregistered trademark's most expensive hamburger, the $295 Le Burger Extravagant. At $499, the world's largest hamburger commercially available tips the scales at 185.8 pounds and is on the menu at Mally's Sports Grill and Bar in Southgate, Michigan. It is called the Absolutely Ridiculous Burger, which takes about 12 hours to prepare. It was cooked and adjudicated on May 30, 2009. A $777 Kobe beef and Maine lobster burger, topped with caramelized onion, brie cheese and prosciutto, was reported available at Le Burger Brasserie, inside the Paris Las Vegas casino. New York chef Daniel Boulud created an intricate dish composed of layers of ground sirloin, foie gras, and wine-braised short ribs, assembled to look exactly like a fast food burger. It is available with truffles in season. On September 2, 2012, the Black Bear Casino Resort near Carlton, Minnesota made the world record bacon cheeseburger that weighed 2,014 pounds. Guinness World Records verified the record for biggest burger. In Las Vegas, Nevada at the Heart Attack Grill there is a quadruple bypass burger. The burger weighs 2 pounds and the name is derived from the fact that the burger is unhealthy. The restaurant is known for being honest about the fact that their food is unhealthy. Interestingly, they allow people that weigh over 350 pounds to eat for free. On August 5, 2013, the first hamburger made from lab-grown meat grown from cow stem cells was eaten in London. Slang: $100 hamburger is aviation slang for a general aviation pilot needing an excuse to fly. A $100 hamburger trip typically involves flying a short distance, eating at an airport restaurant, and flying home. See also. References. Further reading: Barber, Catherine, editor. The Canadian Oxford Dictionary, 2nd edition. Toronto, Oxford University Press. ISBN 0-19-541816-6. Edge, John T. Hamburgers and Freezer: An American Story. G. P. Putnam Sons. ISBN A0-399-15274-1. A History and Origins of the Hamburger, Tridge. The Food Chronology, a food lover's compendium of events and anecdotes, from prehistory to the present. Owl Books. ISBN A0-8050-5247-X. Alon, Beth. Great American Classics Cookbook. Hearst Books. ISBN A1-58816-280-X. Smith, Andrew. Hamburger, A Global History. Reaction Books. PA 128. ISBN A978-1-86189-390-1. External links, media related to hamburgers at Wikimedia Commons, the dictionary definition of hamburger at Wiktionary, hamburger at Wikibook Cookbooks,